Hey everybody, we're back with more travel nuggets. And today, again, talking to my sister Nubia from Black and Travel, we're going to be talking about these long haul flights, these long haul journeys, because I hear people always say, how long is the flight? I don't know if I can go. How long is the flight? So we're going to talk about that. Hey Nubia, how you doing today?
Excellent. Oh my gosh. I love me a long haul travel, Jay. I really
Uh,
do.
all right, let's talk about it. You do long haul travel. Is there a particular way that you like to travel long distances? Because that is a concern. People say, "Well, I don't know how I'm going to do a long haul flight."
To be honest with you, if I'm traveling over 6 to 8 hours, I like to travel either economy plus, something like a comfort, right? Or business class. And I know what people be thinking, oh, here we go with the elitism, business class. But what you
Oh,
guys really don't know is business class is a game changer.
oh yeah,
It's
oh
a
yeah.
game changer. I could not see myself traveling 10, 14, 16 hours without it, to be honest with you. So I would love to talk about some of the benefits that you get for traveling business, A, and B, if you can't travel business, how economy comfort or economy plus, depending on the airline and what they name it, how
Yeah.
that also can be just so beneficial because your comfort matters, you know?
Yeah, it definitely matters. It definitely matters. I ran into a situation recently where the flight going to Ghana was going to be like $7,000 in business, and I was like, "Oof!" I said, "Now, all right."
That price tag, you'd be
I
like,
was like,
whoop.
"Oof." I was like, "I want to go to Ghana. However, I had $7,000. I just don't know." So what I did was I looked for the Delta Comfort. So Delta Comfort was around $2,800 round trip. This round trip, and I said, okay. I said, I think I might do Delta Comfort this time because seven that my mind couldn't wrap
But
around.
not rap.
Even with the points, I was like, I'm giving up the whole points at this point, dude. So I opted for Delta Comfort, was really the equivalent of a domestic first class. So the seat was larger. I was able to lay it back. I was able to, pretty much have it was a comfortable flight. It was no problems. But normally, being a little taller, I like to have more leg room. I have done the long hauls in economy. I've done 14 in economy on Emirates. I did it. I survived it. But I realized that where I am now, I work too hard, and if I may save a few dollars, but then it's costing me as far as the comfort is concerned. In getting to some place, I'm already dealing with the jet lag, so now I'm already dealing with the physical aspect of it. Um, when you don't have a level of comfort, now it deals with the psychological side of it. And again, we recognize everybody may not be able to do business class. This is not a deterrent from traveling. But if there's a way that you can look to upgrade and take advantage of some of the other things that we talked about,
Yes.
utilizing points, understanding the different times to fly. Maybe you fly at one particular time where business class is less expensive. There's so many different ways to look at it, but we do, encourage you to do or to consider it for long haul travel. What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. And I mean, you're over 6 feet tall. I'm short. So at the end of the day, comfort looks a little different, right? But at, for me personally, I don't want to land in a place after traveling for 14 hours with, crick in my neck, feeling uneasy, having dealt with somebody's, just on each side of me and I'm sleeping like this. You get what I mean? Like, I just want to land in a place feeling at ease. So for me, comfort and convenience means money. I mean, unfortunately, like you, yes, anything over $5,000 for a flight, I'm like,
Yeah,
ouch. I don't know if I really
it's a
want to
mess.
do that. Do I really want to do that? But then there's other levels that you can do, like the comforts. So let's just start with the higher tier, business class. Business class always affords you free luggage, typically two luggages that you can check for free, plus your carry ons. You get priority boarding, You get your own basically kind of like butler on the airline. Depending on the airline, I mean, sometimes the service can be the most elite service that you've ever seen. If you fly Emirates, Etihad, come on, help me,
Qatar,
Qatar, some of
Turkish,
these Turkish,
yeah.
I mean, their business class, you'll be like, I'm never flying domestic again because, because they are top tier. I'm talking about top tier. But business class offers you to be able to sit in the business class lounge before your flight. So
Mhm.
this way you can sit and have free food and beverages,
Yes.
high speed Wi-Fi, comfortable seating. Some business class lounges have like massage stations
They
where you
do.
can actually book a massage and get like a 15-20 minute massage before you go on your travels. A lot of business class offers showers so that you can get refreshed and freshened up before your flight. What else can I mean, the
I mean,
benefit.
you've covered it. I mean, because I mean, they have the massage chairs. Some places you can actually rent like the hotel, like the little rooms. So
Oh
some,
yes,
yeah,
to take a
so
nap.
yeah. So if you really want to lay down and take a nap, you can do that. But the free food, the beverages, the Wi-Fi, the comfortable seating, all of that comes in handy, especially if you're doing long haul flights or if you have a long layover where you might not
Layover.
be able to leave the airport. Maybe it's a 4 hour layover, and you're like, I need to sit down somewhere and I want to get some work done. It's just a different kind of environment when you start looking into the business class options. It just takes your travel experience to another level, and this is again something to consider, when
Mhm.
you're out here traveling, because it can become taxing, physically taxing. People don't realize that travel can really wear your body down if you're not prepared for it, and protecting yourself from the standpoint of if you're doing a lot of travel.
A lot
Um,
of trouble.
right. It can just
Yeah.
it can do that to you if you're doing an extensive travel itinerary or something like that. It can definitely wear you down. But when you have the business class options or the comfort options, it makes it a lot easier.
And so let's talk about that, because yes, the price tag is a lot, and your mind automatically thinks, am I paying this much for a flight? But you're really not. You're paying that much for an experience, right? From the time you get to the airport to the time that you get to your next destination. And sometimes it's worth every freaking penny. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Because like I mentioned, the lounge access, you have all of these free benefits on the lounge. So you're not just sitting at a gate, you're not paying $20 for chicken fingers or, another $20 for a drink. So by the time you even get on the flight, you done spent $100 in just food, right?
Right.
You're looking at all of these stacks, right? Once you're on the flight, you got the priority boarding. Your baggage is priority boarding to also, let's be clear. So most times your baggage is going to be the first to come out. You have, you have your own kind of suite. Now, this is the great part about business class. Before you book your ticket, you can see what the plane model number is, right?
Right.
So, and then you go to Google, and then you go Emirates A747s,
Mhm.
whatever, right? Business class. And it will give you a 360-degree view sometimes of what that business class looks like. So you can have already this little suite. It looks like your own little pod, right? But that pod is modular. The seats pull out to a whole entire bed. When you get into your little pod, you have your own toiletries that the airline actually offers you. If you have an overnight flight, they give you slippers. Sometimes they give you actual pajamas. I remember getting on, it was Emirates, and I had a robe. Like it was like a robe, slippers,
Oh
you know,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
they
yeah.
give you
Yeah.
all of the comforts of being at home in your little pod, right? You get like the top tier lotions and hydration stuff for your face and toothpaste and toothbrush, all of the things to make your travel that much more comfortable. And the food, I mean, come on, you're not getting plastic trays, you're getting glass, you're getting porcelain,
Silverware,
getting
yeah.
Don Perignon, you're getting like top-notch like champagne, beverages, food, and you can order this stuff for the most part. Always do your due diligence to always check. But a lot of airlines will give you those access to that kind of stuff throughout your entire flight. I know Emirates offered us like unlimited snacks. I'm talking about they had a basket of all kinds of good ass snacks. So I was like, ding, can I see the snack basket, please?
Along with the champagne and the caviar. I'm joking on the caviar, y'all. I haven't seen the play with the caviar yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
I'm sure it's there. But you know, it's that kind of level of service that is worth the money. And so if you can't just wrap your head around paying a couple of thousand for a flight, no problem. You can do comfort, like Jay was talking about. Comfort is not the level down from business, it's the level up from economy. So it's kind of like you're still kind of in a next tier, right? So Jay, let me ask this question real quick.
Sure.
Where did first class go? Is first class no longer a thing? Remember, it used to be first class. Now everything's business class.
Yes, it gets tricky sometimes. It does get tricky. I think that one airline that might have both, I think that's Emirates, because I think they separate. I think you have the business class downstairs and then the first class upstairs, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but it seems like there's this place with Emirates where you can take a shower and you're in the pod and you're in there, like close the door and you're by yourself and you just, I think that, and that's the one, now that was a whole nother level. That's like $25,000 for an international flight. I've yet to venture down that road, but you know, we'll keep on, we'll bump into it.
Let's manifest that, Jay.
That's right.
And you're going to hear that today. Jay and Nubia are going to be on a first class Emirates upstairs suite flight that's going to cost $25,000 that we're not going to pay for.
There you go. Not going to pay for.
We're not going to pay for it. We're going to utilize either the points or we're going to be invited.
There we go. Now that's the game plan right there, because it, you know, and those are the things when you start thinking about these airlines and you start thinking about these travel experiences. I never imagined it. It was always a dream. It was always, well, one day I hope. And then when I started doing it, it was like, wait a minute, I'm really doing this. And I don't feel, it almost inspires me to keep doing it, because meaning to take my business to the next level or to do what I need to do. Because, you know, everybody's not in business. Some people, they like to travel a particular way. And now they're hearing this information and saying, well, let me try it. Because, you know, I tell people all the time, you live one time. And we have been trained so often to restrict ourselves from doing things. You know, don't do that. That's too much. That's too much. I just need to do the bare minimum and I'm okay. And that's each person's personal philosophy. But what it has done for me as a traveler is when I show up, now I'm refreshed. My mind is clear. Because sometimes I will sleep on a long haul flight. I mean, I've been known to sleep 7 hours, like especially on like those 16-hour flights from Johannesburg to Atlanta or to Newark, you know, because it can get 16 hours plus. It's straight. And I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to have the blanket. I'm going to turn over. I'm at the pillow and I'm going to enjoy it. But then when I wake up, I can, you know, they feed you really well.
Breakfast is great.
Oh yeah, everything. You wake up, you're like, wow, okay, I'm glad I did this. So when I get off the plane, I'm not grumpy and upset because my back is hurting and I have this going on. And
you don't have that level of jet lag that you would have if you were in economy.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, let's be clear. So this way you can actually enjoy, because if you think about it, and I'm glad you mentioned that too, because if you think about it, if you put the whole thing into a perspective, right? When you land, if you fly economy 14 hours, you're going to land at your place and you might actually have to take a full 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours, just to reset before you can even start your vacation.
Yeah.
You done lost time and your body doesn't feel good, right? So is it really worth that? Or is it worth spending a little bit more money or saving up for it, going business class or economy plus, and coming off of the flight feeling like you're ready to conquer the world and go on your actual vacation? Because jet lag, when it hits you, ooh, you're
Knock
out.
you down.
You
Knock you
might think,
down.
I'm just going to take a quick nap. That nap lasts to you sleeping into the next day. You get
Yes.
what I mean?
Yes.
So there's a toss up. So let's go to economy plus. Economy plus is, like I said, the step up from economy. It's super dope because you are able to get more leg room for you people who are a lot taller. For me, I don't need the leg room. I'm a shorty, but I like having space. I want elbow space. I like personal space.
Yeah.
So economy plus can offer you a little bit more leverage. You can also get or buy a lounge pass sometimes. Some airlines will allow you to purchase a lounge pass for the day so that you can enjoy some of the lounge benefits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't, depending on their occupancy, I'll say. Right. So just be mindful of that. And if you don't buy a pass for the day, maybe you get priority pass. Priority pass is $99 for the year and gives you access to hundreds of different priority pass lounges around the world. And this is also a great way to kind of just kick back and relax before your flight. Again, free food, free alcohol, free Wi-Fi, good seating. Some priority pass lounges are better than others, depending on the country that you're in. But overall, it gives you a place to just unwind, which is so important before a flight, because travel can be anxiety ridden. What gate am I going to? How far is it? Oh my God, am I going to make it? All of these things that are going through our heads just to travel. This allows you to sit in the lounge and just kick it and relax, which is hella important.
It sure is. And what we want to encourage everybody to do is to definitely get out there and travel, even if you right now maybe getting started, because we all started. Maybe economy is where you are. So this is not to make anybody feel bad about traveling in economy. Nobody's better than anybody else because of traveling economy. But what we're talking about is finding ways where you can travel in a more comfortable way, and a way that leaves you a bit more refreshed. And when you arrive in your destination, especially for those who are doing long haul travel, and that's what we're talking about, long haul travel and things that we've learned as a part of the process. And as Nubia shared, you can get the priority pass, you can check with airlines, and maybe you can, purchase some access to the different lounges. Maybe you can find out what upgrades are available. Always, purchasing your flight far in advance or in many cases, I should say, could help you as far as reducing some of your expenses. And if you're looking to go into the business class or first class options, to look at it, in getting on, some people think that, well, we're all getting on the same plane and it doesn't make a difference when I get on the plane and all of that. It does. I used to think that too, until I started getting in, Group 1 or Sky Priority or Delta One or whatever it is. And I get on the plane, I can sit down and just get my mind ready for this long haul flight that I'm about to take. And I can unwind. And so just to kind of keep that in mind, and we just hope to inspire you to travel the world and see the things that have been oftentimes for our community and our culture have only been dreams. And we're living the dream, but we want you to live the dream. And we're showing you how to live the dream, because you can live the dream. Whatever that dream is for you, you can do it. And so that's
and we started somewhere too.
Right, started. So that you got to start somewhere.
Started from the bottom. Now we here.
Hey, I've done 15. Like I said, I've done 14 in economy on Emirates, and I did it. I've done 10 on economy many times. Going back and forth. And then once I figured out, I realized how I was feeling once I got there. But I did it. So I did what I had to do. And I would also say for some of our viewers who may be a little bit larger, I definitely, because this is real. People will come to me and say, hey, look, I might need 2 seats. That's where you might consider looking at the business class option because, most people can go in business class. You can lay down in many instances. Now, one thing I will say is be careful of that first row seat
There's
in
no,
in what you call in first class, or depending on if it's a smaller plane.
first seat, period.
Yeah,
Economy, first class, business class, the first seats I don't like to get.
yeah, because you can't stretch out, and you being 4'11", and if you're saying it, imagine a 6'2", where it just like. So sometimes I'm sitting there, and if I do get a foot up on the wall, I say, "Hey, y'all got me crammed in here, so I'm gonna stretch out. I'm gonna make it work." But outside of that, everyone, you'll have a great time. Try it one time and see how you feel about it. So anyway, these are some more travel nuggets. What you got?
Real quick, Jay, though,
Yes,
you
yes.
said one thing real quick that I want to touch base on really fast. You said or free upgrades. This goes back to kind of what we were talking about loyalty programs and using points. Because you are a loyalty member of that airline and or you have specific points, sometimes you're able to get upgrades. And an upgrade can be free, and there's nothing wrong with when you're at the gate, always walk up to the gate agent and say, do you have any available upgrades?
That's it.
That's it.
That's right. They said closed mouth doesn't get fed. So sometimes you got to ask, do you have any free upgrades, anything available? And they say, oh, no, or yes, or yeah, I do. And sometimes if people like you, they'll hook you up. I said, look, I'm trying to work that out for you. Like, I thank you so much. Thank you.
When you find yourself a great stewardess, I don't know if they go by stewardess anymore, but
no, I think that you might be, yeah. That's back in the day.
Back in the day.
Flight attendant. Yeah.
Flight attendant.
Flight attendant.
Get yourself a badass flight attendant, and y'all start really vibing. That flight attendant got your back. Best believe that flight attendant can actually hook you up a little bit and give you a free upgrade by telling you to come sit closer to the front of the plane, which are the comfort seats or, the premier seats or something like that. There's nothing wrong with asking for what you want. The worst they say no, and you still got a seat in economy. And some economy seats are not bad. Like you said, economy in Emirates. It's period.
That's why I was like, I can do economy in Emirates. As a matter of fact, this is a funny story. I fly Emirates from Accra to Abidjan. So Accra, Ghana to Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. That flight might be every bit of 35, 40 minutes.
Wow.
Maybe a hair longer, but they will come and serve you a full meal. You sitting there like, as soon as it gets up here, they're coming out with the little thing and they'll give you the box and they'll give you the dirt. And you're sitting there like, I'm really, really about to eat right here. And they give you like 10, 15 minutes to eat. They come back through. That's Emirates. That's Emirates.
Yes, and I was on Emirates to Dubai in economy my first time to Dubai, and I loved every minute of it. I mean, every minute, to the point we even got to meet the pilots. Like, it was just such a great time. You know what I'm saying? Emirates has a way to my heart. Anyway, get to know your airlines, because once you know certain airlines, you will totally stay within.
Yeah. You mentioned a couple earlier that gave me a little bit. My heart skipped a beat there for a second on one of them. I was like, ooh. But that's the one that flies where you fly. I get it.
Yeah. Some airlines will make you be like, hell no, and other ones will be like, hell yeah. But either way, get to know your airlines. You'll know what makes sense for you and what's comfortable for you. But for right now, I'm just really pressing that business class is the way to go if you have the money to spend on it, if you want to be able to think about luxury and comfort and accessibility and all of the different things that come with it, right? There's a slew of just wonderful benefits that come with it, but also pay attention to your flight. You want to make sure you're able to utilize it. If you get on a 10 o'clock flight and you land at, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm not getting business because I'm sleeping through my business travel. I need to get on that flight at 10 a.m. and be landing. I want to get the most out of of what I'm paying for.
Yep. That's it. So, and I agree, and I do the same thing. So, hopefully, as you all are hearing these travel nuggets, you can put it together to make your travel experience even sweeter. And we would love to hear your comments and feedback from some of your travel experiences and how upgrading your flight options have worked for you. So, again, talking to Nubia from Black and Travel, we're here with these travel nuggets, and we'll be back with even more. So, stay tuned. The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister, and you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana, and then we're going to go on a safari, and from there we're going to go to Ethiopia, and then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa, in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They are learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on our children's level so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do, and as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation, and they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the Adventures of Darren and Destiny.